felt stuck in a time loop during a stand-up? Yesterday I was fixing the bug and I have been fixing the bug since yesterday. Your team nods politely. Yeah, you're not sure if you nailed it. Let's sort that out today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Syntax English with me, Jessica. Let's talk a little bit about past continuous and present perfect continuous and the differences and when to use it. Meet Javier, one of my students, who is a lead at a fintech company. Yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the deployment blew up. And this morning, he wanted to sound calm and competent, but the tenseness wrestled in his head. So he defaulted to have been working on his confidence drop in that moment and his message got lost. Does it sound familiar to you? Let's have a look at the structure first of past continuous and present perfect continuous. When we talk past continuous, we have was or were and the verb ing. And it is a snapshot of an action in progress at a specific time. For example, at 4 p.m. yesterday, I was rebooting the system. It is an action, was rebooting, in progress at a specific time, being 4 p.m. Whereas present perfect continuous, the form is have or has been and the verb ing. And with present perfect continuous, the action began in the past and it still matters now. For example, I have been rebooting the server since 4 p.m., meaning that it has continued up until this point, and whatever the problem is still not fixed, and we were still rebooting the server. Some key markers. At 3 p.m., while or when indicates past continuous. Since, for, lately, and recently indicates present perfect continuous. Why should you care about this? Past continuous tells the story of a moment, whereas present perfect continuous sells the progress that is happening. Now, if timelines make sense to you, have a look at the following. But if timelines don't make sense, skip forward 10 or 15 seconds. As you can see with the timeline, the dot indicates a past time. It is done. It is finished. We are no longer working on it. Whereas, if we are still continuing on it, we are going to use the present. Typical mix-ups and some quick fixes. Using for with the past continuous. Now, there is a but with this one. In spoken English, a lot of the times we do use for with the past continuous. However, grammatically, it is considered incorrect. For example, I was debugging for 3 hours this morning. If you say this, people are still going to understand what you mean by it. However, grammatically speaking, the correct version would be I have been debugging for 3 hours this morning. The next one is since. Remember that since is used specifically with present perfect tense. We've been migrating the database yesterday. Doesn't make any sense. Instead, you're going to think about the context that you are using it. It's either going to be we were migrating the database yesterday, meaning that the action is finished. You finished it yesterday. Or we have been migrating the database since yesterday. The action is continuing until now, and it is something that is not finished as of yet. And a little bit of a confidence boost for you. Remember to pause and breathe and pick one anchor word. If you were going to use at plus the time at 3 p.m., at 4 in the afternoon, at 5 in the morning, you are going to use the past continuous. However, If you were going to use since or for and the duration, you are going to use present perfect continuous. Please remember also with this, the slight difference between since and for. Since we use it with an exact date, since yesterday, since 2016. For we use for the duration, for 2 years, for 5 days. Try and say the anchor first in your head and then the sentence. And the goal is that your brain will fill in the right tense. Now, a little bit of practice for you. What I want you to do is I want you to grab your latest Slack update that you have sent to your team. You are going to rewrite that Slack update twice. Once in the past continuous, meaning that it is complete and it's a snapshot look back at what you have done. And the second in the present continuous, meaning that it is still progressing. And with that in mind, I want you to think which one feels clearer for Monday's stand-up. If you want, drop both versions in the comments and let's discuss which one feels better for you and why it feels better. And if this helped you untangle your timelines a little, check out the article and download today's worksheet. The link is below. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It does help me a lot. And I will see you in the next one.